Okay, so we'll just start with the Mangalacharam. Ramo Arihantaram, Ramo Siddharam, Ramo Ayariyaram, Ramo Uvajaya, Ramo Loye Savasauram, Siddhama Suddhama Panamiya, Jirindavaranemi Chandamakalam. Gunarayana Bhushanudayam Jivasaparuvaram Vocham. Okay, hopefully because of the nice weather, we only have three users at the moment, but hopefully a few more will join. So this is our last session today. So what we'll do is we'll just cover what we've covered so far. So we'll just look at the charts and I'll just go over stuff which I've already covered before. There's a lot of material that's already been covered. So hopefully I will not use the text to explain, but I'll just use the charts to explain what we've done so far. So we looked at Samanya log first of all. So looked at the dimensions of the log. If I take you through the dimensions again, so if I just make this slightly bigger, so this here was one Raju. Yeah, so we're looking at the front. This is the front. So the log is three-dimensional. This is the front part of the log. This is the south. This is the north. So the log is three-dimensional. So the log is one Raju here. Then towards the Brahm log, the width increases so that it becomes five Rajus, then the width decreases. So by the time you get to the Madhya log, it becomes one Raju. Then the width increases again, so that by the time you get towards the bottom, it's seven Rajus here. So 1, 5, 1, 7. If you average this out, it becomes three and a half Rajus. The distance from the south to the north is the same throughout, which is seven Rajus, and the height of the log is 14 rajus. So when you calculate all those figures, the volume you get for the log is, anyone remember the volume? Adi, red Adi, or white Adi? I say white Adi and red Adi. White Adi, that's not you.
Can you please repeat the question?
Yeah, so what's the total volume of the whole log?
343 Raju.
Well done. 343 Ghan Rajus. Ghan means cubic Rajus. So 343 cubic Rajus. So right in the center here, this column is called this column is called what is it called? This column here?
Drasnadi.
Right, the thrust nali. So the thrust nali is one Raju by one Raju here. So if you leave three Rajus from here, three Rajus from here, so right in the center, it's one Raju by one Raju, and the height of the thrust nali is 14 Rajus. So the total area of the thrust nali is 1 times 14. So 14 Ghan Raju Praman is the thrust nali. Thrust nali means the column where the thrust jeev live. The thrust jeev are the two sensed to the five sensed jeev. They reside in the thrust nali. So the one sensed jeev reside everywhere. The thrust jeev reside only in the thrust nali. The animals are one sense, two sense, three sense, four sense, five sense. So the two sensed to the five sensed animals, they are the thrust animals. The other three gatis, the Manushya Gati, the Dev Gati, and Narkis, they are all thrust because they are all Sanni Panchendriya. Therefore, the Swarg, the Devs reside in the thrust nali, and the Narkis who reside in the bottom lok, they also reside within the thrust nali. And the Ekendriya Jeev, the one sense Divyansh, they reside everywhere throughout the 343 Ganrajus. So here you'll see some numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the Vaimanik Devlok. These are the Vaimanik Devlok. So the Vaimanik Devs are found throughout the Trashnali and nowhere else. The Narkis are found in these seven lands. One, you see the numbering here: one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So the Narkis reside here, and the names of these lands, the names of the lands are also the names of the Narak. So the first here is, if you just see, it's pretty small here. So both names, so there's two names given, Ratnaprabha. So the first hell, the first land is Ratnaprabha. See here, Ratnaprabha is also known as Dharma Prabha. Second is Shankara Prabha, also known as Vansha. The third is Valuka Prabha, also known as Megha. The fourth is Panka Prabha, known as Anjana. Then the fifth is Dhuma Prabha, also known as Arishta. The sixth is Tamaprabha, known as Madhvi. And the seventh is Mahatamaprabha, known as Madhvi. So the seven Naraks are here, and each of the Naraks have two names each. So that's and we've also seen the Narkis only reside in the lower lok. And where do the Devs reside? Red Adi, where do the Devs reside? Which lok? Madhya lok, Urdhva lok, or Adolok?
Adoro.
Adolok. Huh?
Urtvalo.
Good try, very good answer, but wrong. Where again, have another guess. Where do the devs reside? देवगति के जीव कहाँ रहते हैं? मध्यलोक में रहते हैं, ऊर्ध्वलोक में रहते हैं, या अधोलोक में रहते हैं? कहाँ रहते हैं? Adi White, you want to have a go?
They live in all three.
Very good. They live in all three because the Vaimanic devs live here. Yeah. So Samyak Drashtis, those who have achieved Samyak Darshan, they only go to the Vaimanic Lok. They don't go anywhere else. So they only go to the Vaimanic Lok here. However, the Mithya Drashtis, those in the first Gurastan, they can be born into the Jyotish Lok. Jyotish Lok is here in the Madhya Lok. Also in the Madhyalok, there are Vyantar Devs, and in the Adolok and in the Middle Lok, there are also Bhavanvasi Devs. So the Devs reside in the Upper Lok here, the Madhyalok here, and the Lower Lok here as well. In the Lower Lok, you will only find Vyantar Jati ke Dev and Bhavanvasi Jati ke Dev. And in the middle here, you will find Vyantar Dev, you will find some Bhavanvasi Dev, and you will also find Jyotishka Dev. Jyotishka Dev do not reside in the lower lok. Jyotishka Dev, they only reside in the Madhya lok. So that's what we've seen. That's the Samanya Varnan. And also, we've seen, let's just see if I can move this. Can't seem to move like this. So, oops, there we go. So this diagram here, the second, I don't touched upon this. Let's have a look. Can't seem to control my cursor. My cursor doesn't seem to move. I don't know why. There it is. I'll just put 2 here. Yeah, so 2, you'll see this coloring in red, yellow, and the blue. These are known as the Vat Valley. So the whole lok is surrounded by these winds. They're huge winds, okay? So the one in the right at the top here is blue, which is known as Dhanodati Vat Valley. The wind in the middle is known as Ghan Vat Valley, and the wind in red is known as Tanu Vat Valley. So these winds surround the whole of the lok. The question that's asked in the scriptures is what supports the lok, because the lok is right in the center of the cosmos. So the question is, what's stopping the lok falling down? What is supporting the whole lok? And the answer given in the scriptures is that the lok, the whole lok, the 343 Ghanraju lok, is supported by these big winds. So they're supported by the big winds. Other uh, religions, the Hindu scriptures, they believe that there is a nag, there's a snake at the bottom of the lok that's holding the lok up, etc. But according to Jainism, the whole lok is supported by these three winds. They carry the whole weight of the lok. Okay. What is the most obvious question that you will be? What is the obvious question that arises from that? What should you be asking me? What question arises? No? How can the winds support such a heavy object? Yes? Can winds support such a heavy object? Yes or no? Can winds support heavy objects? Like if you throw a stone, it's going to fall down. The wind will not support it. Okay. But winds also, if you condense these winds, it's known as pressure. Like your car has tire pressures. Yes. So when you fill your tire up with air, you increase the tire pressure. What that means is the amount of wind in the tire increases. It becomes more and more condensed. Okay. So when these winds become condensed, they have the strength to carry a lot of weight. So your whole car is actually moving on air because it's being moved on wheels, and the wheels is essentially air surrounded by rubber. So the winds have this strength; they are able to carry a great amount of weight, like you have the aeroplane. But when the aeroplane takes off, again, it is being supported by air. So winds have the strength of being able to support huge objects. So in a similar way, these three winds, they are supporting the whole lok. You have a question?
If they're supporting the whole look, right? So, and you said they have to be compressed, but what is around the wind that compresses it?
It's just these winds are just extremely dense. These winds, by their own nature, they are extremely dense. Okay, so because they are so dense, they support the whole of the lok.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't. I have problems with my cursor. Wait. So this is one. This is two. And three. Let's move to three. Then we also saw the Madhya Lok has countless islands and oceans. So the island in the center, that is known as Jambudweep. Then we have Samudra called Lavan Samudra. Lavan means salt. Then we have another island around it that is known as Dhatki Khand. Then we have another Samudra known as Kalodari Samudra. Then we have another island called Pushkara Dweep. Then we have another ocean called Pushkarwar Samudra. So we have countless islands and oceans all in a circular motion. The island right in the center, that is in the shape of a disc or a plate, and the other oceans and islands around it, they are like the rings of Saturn or bangles. So the shape is different. We've seen humans reside in the first two and a half islands and the first two oceans. The first two and a half islands is obviously Jambudweep. Then we have Dhadkikand, and we have half of Pushkarwardweep. So in the island of Pushkarwardweep, right in the center, there is a mountain range known as Manushottar Parvat that goes all the way around. That dissects the island into two. Humans cannot cross the Manushottar Parvat. They can only reside in the inner half of the Manushottar Parvat. Therefore, humans only occupy the two and a half islands and the two oceans. And we've seen that the total width of that is 44.5 million yojans. So 45 lakh yojans. Okay, so that's what we've seen. If I go back, so it's, the silsila here, what is the total width of the silsila? What did we say that was? Yeah, Adi, red. Yeah.
One raju, no, one, yeah,
Sorry?
one raju squared.
No. You have to imagine, see, silsila, Sid Bhagwan's Sid, you can only become a Sid, okay, from the Manushya Kshetra, okay? When you become Sid, what happens is you leave the body behind and your Atma travels all the way up to the Sidsila. So only humans can travel to the Sidsila. So the Sidsila does not exist outside the Manushya Lok. Yes. So outside the Manushyalok, there's only Tiryanj. Yeah. So Tiryanj can't go to the Siddhisila. So again, once again, how many Rajus how many Yojans is the Siddhisila?
I don't think you told us that.
Ah, maybe I didn't. Okay, just as well. Okay, so so what is it? Okay, so I've given you a clue what it should be, what the Sitsila should be, because there's no space in the Sitsila where there is no Siddha Bhagwan. Okay, so where right at the top, so when you leave your body behind, what happens is immediately up, you go immediately up and you reside in the Sitsila. Okay, so the Siddhisila is full of Siddha Bhagwans. There's Anant Siddha Bhagwans that reside in the Siddhisila. So again, so once again, what is the width of the Siddhisila? Remember, only Manushya can become Siddh Bhagwan. So the area for the Siddhisila is exactly the same as the area of the Manushya Lok. So once again, what is the Siddhishila area? No? Very easy. No? The area, okay, I'll give you the answer. The area is 4.5 million yojans, exactly the same as Manushya. So the as the Sitsila, the width of the Sitsila is exactly the same as the Manushya. So the Sitsila is directly above the Manushya. So what that tells us is what I've said is there is no space here, there is no space here, which is where a Sid Bhagwan does not reside. It's full of Anant Sid Bhagwan. So lot of Sids, okay, they've become Sid Bhagwan from the oceans even. So if you imagine the 45 lakh yojan, the Manushya Kshetra, that has also two oceans, okay? So the question then is, how do you become a Sid Bhagwan from the ocean? Remember, when they become Sid Bhagwan, they go immediately up. So if there's a Sid Bhagwan directly above the oceans, that means the liberation has taken place directly above the oceans. So it begs the question, how can you become a Siddha Bhagwan from the oceans? You can become a Siddha Bhagwan from the land, which is easy to understand because humans reside in the lands. But how do humans reside in the water and become Siddha Bhagwans? Any thoughts? No? What happens is sometimes the devs, those who are enemy devs, they take the Muniraj from their lands and they throw them into the oceans. So when they throw them into the oceans, what these monks do is they meditate and they become Siddhavans before they drown. So that's why the whole area of the oceans, right directly above, there is a Siddhavagwan. So there's no place left in the entire Manushya Lok where above there is no Siddha Bhagwan. So immediately above you, you're in Harrow, in Pina, wherever you live, immediately above, there is a Siddh Bhagwan, Siddh Bhagwan. So if you look up directly above you, there is Siddh Bhagwan. So from Pina, from Harrow, from Kenton, how many Siddh Bhagwans reside above Kenton? How many Siddh Bhagwans reside above Pina? How many Siddh Bhagwans reside above Finchley? How many? How many? How many?
A lot. And
Anand Siddh Bhagwans. So Anand Siddh Bhagwans have become liberated from Pina, from your house. So above your house, there is Ananta Siddha Bhagwan. So you don't really have to go to Samet Shikhar to remember the Siddh Bhagwans. You can remember the Siddh Bhagwans from your own sitting room. From your own sitting room, directly above, there are Ananta Siddh Bhagwans. You can pay respects from your own home, from your own sofa. There are Ananta Siddh Bhagwans directly above. That's the wonder of Jainism. Yes? Okay, let's move on. Just having problems with my cursor today. I don't know why. Anyway, so this is what we've seen. This is the Dhai Deep. This is the chart for the Dhai Deep. And so the Manushyas live from this point here to the other point here. So right in the center, there is Jambudvip, then this is Lavan Samudra, this is Dhatki Khand, this is Kalodadi Samudra, and this is the whole of Pushkar Dweep, and this is the Manushyata Parvat, which you see going all the way around. So the Manushyas live from this end to this end everywhere here. So this is the total area where there has been liberation. There has not been any liberation outside this boundary. So everywhere here, from the oceans, from both the Lavan Samudra, from the Kavalodari Samudra, and all these lands, there have been Anand Siddh Bhagwan from every single space. Every single space above, there has been a Siddh Bhagwan. So we've seen the names of the lands. The two Samudras are Lavan Samudra and Kalodari Samudra. And we've also seen, if we go to problems, let me see if I can move this. I can move this. Yeah, this moves better actually. So what we've seen is this Jambudweep. If you just take you to the chap of Jambudweep, this is Jambudweep. So each Jambudweep has its own. So there are 5 Merus. So let's talk about the Merus first. So these are the 5 Merus. You'll see one right, a dot in the center, that's a Meru. This is Sudarshan Meru. This is Vijay Meru. This is Achal Meru. So there's one Meru here, one Meru here, one Meru here, one Meru here, and one Meru here. This is Vidyunmali Meru. So all Merus have their own one Bharat Kshetra. They have their own Airavat Kshetra, and they have their own Videk Kshetra. So this Sudarshan Meru here, this is Sumeru here, or Sudarshan Meru here. So this has its own Bharat Kshetra, which you will see in yellow on the south, in the south. You will see the Airavat Kshetra in the north, in the red here. And this Sumeru Meru has its own Videk Kshetra on the east side and on the west side. So each Meru has its own Bharat Kshetra, its own Videk Kshetra, its own Airavat Kshetra, and each Videk Kshetra has 32 Nagaris, 32 Nagaris. So each Videk Kshetra has 32 Nagaris. We've seen that there is a river. This is Sita Nadi, this is Sitoda Nadi, and because of the Sita Nadi and the Sitoda Nadi, this Videk Kshetra is divided into 2 segments. This is the northern segment, northern east segment. This is the this is the southern east section. This is the southern west. This is the northwest. So each section has 8 nagaris. So there's 4 nagaris in total, 4 sections in total, and each has 8 sections. You see the numbering here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Then the 9 to 16, then 17 to 24, then 25 at the top, running to 32. So one Meru has 32 nagaris of Videk Kshetra. So my question is, how many total nagaris for the five Merus? How many total nagaris are there for the five Merus? For the five Merus, how many Nagri? One Meru has 32. So how many does five Meru have? How many Nagris?
160 nagaris.
160 nagaris, very good. So each Meru has 160 nagaris. So if I take you here, so this has 100, this has 160, 32 nagaris. This Meru, also you will see this this brown coloring here. This is the Videk Kshetra. So this Meru here, this is Sudarshan Vijay Meru. So this Vijay Meru has Videk Kshetra on the east side and Videk Kshetra on the west side. So does this Meru here. This Meru, you will see a bit more clearly. You will see this land here. This is on the east side. This is on the west side. So this also has 32 nagaris. This has 32 nagaris. This has 32 nagaris. This has 32 nagaris. This has 32 nagaris. So in total, there are 162 nagaris. And we've seen this has its own Bharat Kshetra, its own Airavat Kshetra. So similarly, this Meru here has its own Bharat Kshetra, which is this yellow bit here, the half yellow bit here. So this half yellow bit is the Bharat Kshetra belonging to this Meru here. This half of the red belongs to this Meru here. Similarly, for this Meru, this half is its Airavat Kshetra. This half is its Bharat Kshetra. Similarly, for this Meru here, this half here is belongs to this Meru. This half Airavat Kshetra belongs to this Meru. And for this Vidyunman Meru, this half Airavat Kshetra belongs to this Meru. And the Bharat Kshetra, this half here, belongs to this Meru here. So each Meru has its own Airavat Kshetra, its own Videk Kshetra, and its own Bharat Kshetra. So this Parvat here uh, divides this island into two segments. This is the eastern segment, and this is the western segment. Does anyone know what this mountain range is called? This mountain range here, what is it called? No? Ishwakar Parvat. This is the dividing mountain. This is known as Ishwakar Parvat. So what we did was we've seen how Jammu Dip is formed. So it has 6 mountains running across from the east to the west. So 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, 4 here, 5 here, 6 here. So what are these mountains called? Anyone? These mountains? It's important to remember some of these mountains.
Kulachal Parvat.
Very good. Kulachal Parvat. Kulachal Parvat. So these are the Kulachal Parvats that run from the west to the east, from the east to the west, rather. And because there are 6 of them, they divide this whole Jambu Deep into 6 lands, which is 1 here. So this land is Airavat Kshetra that you've seen. This is Jaganya Bhumi, the first pink area. This is Madhyam Bhumi. This is Utkrusht Bhumi. Similarly, in the south side, this is Utkrusht Bhumi. This is Madhyam Bhumi. This is Jaganya Bhumi. So in total, at any given time, we can have 8 Bhumis in the whole of Jammu. 1 here, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So 8 in total Bhumis at any given time. So in the whole of the Dhai Deep, the 2.5 islands, or the Manushya Lok, what is the maximum number of Bhog Bhumis you can have at any given time? What is the maximum you can have in the whole of the Manushya Kshetra? Very easy.
40.
Yeah. Yeah. So 8 times 5 is 40. So 40 is the Bhog Bhumis. Yes. 40 Bhog Bhumis. Okay. Another question. Another question. How many Karma Bhumis can you have? Maximum number of karma bhumis in the Manushya Kshetra. How many karma bhumis can you have at any given time in the whole of the Manushya Kshetra?
10.
No, no. So what you have to do is work out how many in Jambudweep. If you work out how many in Jambudweep, all you have to do is multiply by 5. So where are the possible karma bhumis in Jambudweep?
In Vidya Kshetra, in Arala Kshetra, and in Bara Kshetra.
Yeah, so there's 3. And you times it by how many?
5, so 15.
5. So it's 15. So 15, so you can have maximum 15 karma bhumis. And okay, another question is how many everlasting bhumis is there? How many? Listen to the question carefully. How many everlasting bhog bhumis are there in the Manushya Lok? You understand the question?
Yeah. Is it 30?
30, very good. Because there are six everlasting bhog bhumis here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 times 5 is 30. So there's 6 bhog bhumis, which are everlasting bhog bhumis. And let's see what else I need to cover. What we've seen here in Jambudweep, we see exactly the same formation in the eastern side. So the eastern side also has 6 mountains, 6 Kulachal Parvats. You see them here. You see the like bite-shaped spokes here. So there's 6 Kulachal Parvat here. One, if we look at the Dhatki Khan, you will understand. If you look at Pushkaran, you'll be able to see the 6 Kulachals. So there's 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, 4 here, 5, 6. So these are the 6 Kulachal for the eastern side of Pushkar Dweep. Also 6 Kulachals here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 Kulachal Parvat for the western side. Because there are 6 Kulachal Parvat here, this again divides this land into 7 segments. So there are 7 lands here and 7 lands on the eastern side. So one island has how many lands in total? One island has how many lands in total? It's a very easy question now. Made it so easy for you guys. Huh?
14.
14. So this is like 1, 2. So if we count them all, so 1, 2. Then here is the, so we have a mountain here. Then this is the Jaganya Bhumi here, Jaganya Bhumi here. This is the Madhyam Bhumi here, Madhyam Bhumi here. Yes. Then we have Videk Kshetra here, Videk Kshetra here. Within this Videk Kshetra, there is also the Uttam Bhumi here as well. It's not shown here, but there is Uttam Bhumi here as well. Then again, we have here, what is this? This land? Which Bhumi is it? Is it Madhyam? Is it Utkrush? Is it Jaganya? What is it here? Huh?
Jaganya?
No.
Madhyam.
Madhyam. Jaganya is here.
Okay, next one is Jaganya.
Yeah, so this is Jaganya, this is Madhyam, this is Uttam. Yeah. Similarly here, this is Jaganya, Madhyam, Uttam. Jaganya, Madhyam, Uttam. So so once you understand Jambudweep, this is exactly the same formation, but in Jambudweep, the mountains run across from the east to the west, but they don't do so here. They run from the Manushudar Parvat to the Kalodali Samudra here. Then here inside, they run from the Karo Samudra to the Lavan Samudra. That's how, so they are like the spokes of a bike. They are not flowing across from east to west, but they are going sideways. Yeah, so that's the only difference. So if you understand Jammu Dweep, the formations here are exactly the same. So that's how far we got. So so there's uh, countless islands and countless oceans. What is the name of the last ocean? Which is this ocean here. What is the name of the last ocean here? Anyone?
Swayambhuram Samudra.
Very good. Swayambhu Rama Samudra. And what is the name of the island just immediately before it?
Swayambhuram Dweep.
So this is Lavan Samudra. Okay. So the island just immediately next to the Lavan Samudra, or just on the inside. What is the name of that island? Here. It's not shown clearly here. But imagine there was an island just immediately before the Swayambhu Raman Samudra. So what is the name of that island?
Swayambhuram Dweep.
Yes, Swayambhu Raman Dweep. You can see that actually shown here. So this is Swayambhu Raman Samudra, and the island on the immediate inside is Swayambhu Raman Dweep. Okay, so what is the width from this end to this end? How many rajus is that?
Half. A quarter.
One. This width here.
One quarter.
Huh?
One.
Huh? This width here. There's not a quarter. Not a quarter. Okay. Another clue. Let me give you a clue. The width here and the width here totals 1/4 in total. Oh, sorry, my mistake. Sorry, my mistake. You were right. This is actually a quarter. I'm looking at the wrong measurements. So this is 1/4 raju, and this is 1/4 raju. So it's 1/4 plus 1/4 is equal to 2/4. So half. So the half of the total width at both sides. So this is half a raju. This is half a raju. So half of the middle earth, half of the middle lok is made up of Swayambhu Raman Samudra. That's how big this ocean is. Okay, it's a massive, massive. And this is 1/8. This Swayambhu Raman Dweep is 1/8 yojan here, 1/8 yojan here. So if you add both of those, it becomes 1/4. Okay, so there is a mountain running in the middle here, and that mountain is known as Swayamprab Parvat. Swayamprab Parvat, which divides this island into two. So on the outer half is Karma Bhumi. Okay, on the inner half is Jaganya Bhog Bhumi. So my next question is, who lives here in the inside bit, and who lives on the outside bit? Who lives on the inside bit first? Is it Dev? Is it Tiryanj? Is it Narki? Or is it Manushya? Who lives on the inside?
Manushya, I think.
Huh?
Is it Manushya?
Remember, we're talking about Swayambhu Raman Dweep, the last one.
Manushya can go there, beyond the Manushya Parvat.
Because we've seen here, Manushya's only reside in the first 2.5. But what we've done is we've gone forward, we've crossed over countless islands and countless oceans, and we've reached the last island, okay, Swayambhu Raman Dweep. So who lives on the inside bit here?
Is the inside bit Karma Bhumi or Bhog Bhumi?
Yeah, that's what I want to ask. So what is it? What is it? We've covered this, so I just want to see how much you remember. So is this Karma Bhumi or is this Bhog Bhumi?
Bhog
Okay,
Bhumi.
first Bhog Bhumi, okay. And who lives here? Is it Manushya or is it Tiryanj?
Tiryanj.
Tiryanj live here. Tiryanj live here, okay. This is Jaganya Bhog Bhumi. All the islands, okay, after Pushkar. So remember the Parvat in Pushkar that divides the Manushya Parvat, okay? Yeah. So inside is Manushya Kshetra, outside outside the Manushya Parvat, and all the other islands, okay, there is Jaganya Bhogbhumi. Suddenly Panchendriya Tiryansh live there, those with the mind, and there is Bhogbhumi there in all the islands. Up until this point here, up until this mountain range here, there is Jaganya Bhogbhumi. Okay, so all the islands contain Jaganya Bhogbhumi. So you will see five sense animals. You will see cows, you will see lions, you will see what else you see? All five sense beings with minds. You will see giraffes, you will see elephants, you will see gorillas, you will see chimpanzees. So all those animals live in these islands. Okay, and one of the question is there are also countless oceans as well. So once you cross the Manushya Parvat, there are countless oceans. So who live in these countless oceans?
Machli.
Huh?
Machli.
Machli. Anyone else? Anyone else? Yes? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? What is it? Yes or no? मछली मछली यहाँ रहती है या नहीं रहती है? नहीं रहती है। बहुत अच्छा, सही उत्तर, नहीं रहती है, क्योंकि जितने भी समुद्र है आफ्टर आफ्टर कालोदधि, जितने भी समुद्र है एंड बिफोर स्वयं समुद्र, जितने भी समुद्र है, there is no जलचर जीव, there is no fish, there is no sea life, there is no sea life. Okay, so these are all empty oceans. These are all empty oceans. These are desert. These are desert oceans. There is no sea life which you will see. There is no sea life. Okay, you will see in the islands. You will see animals. Yes, you will see islands in the animals. You will see animals on the islands, but the oceans are totally devoid of any sea life. Yes, that's an important point to remember. So, okay, so we've crossed this Swam Parvat here. So, who live here then on the outer side, in the outer half?
All sensed beings.
All sensed. Okay, first of all, is there Karma Bhumi or Bhog Bhumi here on the outside bit?
Be.
Huh?
Karma Bhumi.
There's Karma Bhumi. So one sense beings, two sense beings, three sense beings, four sense beings, five sense beings, they all reside in these lands here. If you want to see a mosquito that is 8 miles long, you will see them here. So these are huge animals. These are huge animals. They reside here. Okay. So just imagine if a mosquito is 8 miles long, a cow living here, just imagine how big they would be. So what you have to do to calculate how big this cow is, yes? So you compare the ratio of a mosquito to a cow, yes? So if the ratio is 100, say, just for argument's sake, say the mosquito is 1 and a cow is 100. Similarly, if a mosquito here is 8 miles long, then how long would the cow be?
800.
800.
Yeah, so times 100. So 800 miles big cow, yeah? So that the animals living here are massive, huge, okay? And similarly, in the Swayambhu Rama, we do Jalchar Jeev. Jalchar meaning fish, tortoise, dolphins, whales. Do they live in this ocean here or not?
Yes, they do.
They do, and they are massive. They're massive, okay? So the biggest is a whale. So in the Jain scriptures, they've got all the proportions right, because currently even, okay, the biggest animal in our sea, biggest fish in our sea is a whale. Also in this Swayambhu Rama Samudra, the biggest animal is a whale. Okay, so they've got all the proportions correct. even for this. So whatever you see here, whatever we see, the proportions is exactly the same here. Okay. So this fish, this whale, that's the biggest animal ever living on the planet. Okay. What we think the biggest animal currently is what? What is the biggest animal that we currently know of? What is the biggest animal? What is the biggest animal? What is the biggest animal? Have you ever been to the Natural History Museum? Have you been to the Natural History Museum?
Yeah. Yes, yes.
So what is the biggest animal? What is the biggest animal that they see? When you enter, you see it.
A whale.
Sperm whale. Sperm whale. I think it's a sperm whale. Sperm
Really?
whale is the biggest animal that there ever lives. Okay. So similarly, uh, the uh, the biggest fish in the Swayambhu Raman Samudra is a whale. Okay. So the size of this whale, the length of this whale is 1,000 yojans. Yes. So one yojan is equal to 8 miles. 8 miles. 8 miles, yeah, so 8 miles. So it's 8,000 miles. So the size of this whale is the distance from here to India. Okay, so that's how big this fish are. In fact, in the scriptures they say once where this whale is resting, its hump is sticking out. Okay, so on this hump, that itself becomes its own island. So you have trees growing on the hump of a whale, you have animals living on the hump of a whale. It has its own separate ecosystem. The hump of a whale has its own ecosystem. That's what the scriptures say. It's absolutely unbelievable. Okay, so that's what you will find here. Also, these four corners in green, that is known as Chatushkona Bhumi, and the Karma Bhumi Tiryanj, big Tiryanj, also can be found here as well. So big mosquitoes, big earthworms, big ants. So they all live here in what is known as the Chatushkon Bhumi. So that's where the animals live. The 2 cents, the 3 cents, the 4 cents. What are these beings known as? 2 cents, 3 cents. There's one word for these. 2 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents. What are they known as? Does anyone know?
Rasjiv.
Rusty.
Trust sheaf means 2 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents, 5 cents. They are known as trust. But 2 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents, that's a separate word for this. Anyone remember? No? Hina Ben? Remember?
1 cent is first, then
Huh?
no, I don't remember.
It's known as Vikaltrai. Vikaltrai.
Yeah, got it here.
Vikaltrai.
Vikal.
Vikal means not complete. So these don't have complete senses. So complete sense meaning 5 cents. So those with less than 5 cents, they are known as Vikaltrai, which is why I put my hand up. So Vikaltrai means I don't put my hand down. No, my hand.
Vikalendriya bhi kehvai? Can we call it Vikalendriya? Yeah.
Vikalendriya bhi kehvai. Vikaltrai bhi kehvai. ઘણા બધા નામો છે. So these 2 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents, they don't live everywhere. They live in the Manushya Kshetra. They live in the outer half of the last land, Swayambhu Ramadweep, and they also live in the ocean here, and they also live in the Chatushkon Bhumi here. So that's where they live. Also, just to give you a perspective of how small Manushya Kshetra is, okay, if you just go back to this chart here. So as we've said, this has Asankyat Dweep and Samudra. So only 2.5 islands and the 2 oceans is where Manushya live. Such a small area compared to the full Lok. So this just shows how rare being a human is. It's extremely rare being a human because the proportion of humans compared to the rest of the souls is extremely, extremely low. So to have become a human is extremely, extremely rare. So let's just see what else to be covered. So we've seen that. We've seen this. So this also we've covered in detail here as well. Bharat Kshetra. So this is Bharat Kshetra. So once you understand Bharat Kshetra, the Airavat Kshetra, the formation of the Airavat Kshetra is exactly the same. So we've also touched upon what Bharat Kshetra looks like. So if we highlight that area, so in fact, we've also talked about, we've divided this, remember, we've divided this into 190 segments, remember? Yes? 190, yeah, 190 segments, yeah? So we've divided this whole the diameter here from the north to the south into 190 segments. Does anyone remember how many yojans is one segment? Does anyone remember from their notes? Yes,
526.
very good. 526. So right where Bharat Kshetra is at its widest, okay, that area is 526 yojans, okay. So this then the mountain range is double that, okay. So that is so this is 1 over 190. This mountain range is 2 over 190, and this Jaganya Bhumi is 4 over 190, so it becomes double each time, okay. Then we have another mountain range which is 8 over 190. So this big area in pink, this is the Madhyam Bhumi. This is 16 over 190. This big mountain range here is 32 over 190. This whole land here is 64 over 190. Again, this is 32, this is 16, this is 8, this is 4, this is 2, this is 1. So if you add all those figures up, the whole length here becomes 190. So you will be able to work out. So if this is 526, this will be 526 times 2. This will be 526 times 4. This would be 526 times 8. This would be 526 times 16. This would be 526 times 32. This would be 526 times 64. And similarly here, okay? So if you add all of those sums up, then it should total to 100,000. Sorry,
210, yeah.
100, no,
210.
100,000 yojans, 100,000 yojans, yes. So the total should be 100,000 yojans, okay. So so you will just see how vast these lands are. So 526 yojans, we've said 5 is the width here in Bharat Kshetra, okay, known as the Jiva of Bharat Kshetra is 526 yojans. 1 yojan here is equal to 4,000 miles, okay. So 4,000 times 526 here, then 526 times 2 times 4,000 here, then 526 times 4 times 4,000 here. So that's how you calculate up until 100,000, okay. Yes? Okay, let's just see what else I've missed out. Missed everything else. So if we then highlight, so we've also seen where the Tirthankars live. So currently, how many living Tirthankars in the whole of Manushya Kshetra? How many Tirthankars in the whole of the Manushya Kshetra? अरे बोलो, कुछ तो बोलो, कितने तीर्थंकर विद्यमान है अब? हाँ, 20, okay. How many Tirthankars in Jambudweep?
4.
4. How many Tirthankars in Dhatki Khand?
10. 8.
8 and 8. That's 20 in total. 20 in total. So each
20.
Meru has 4 Tirthankars. So there are 5 Merus. So in total, there are 20 Tirthankars. Yes. So Simandar Bhagwan lives here in number 8, I think. So Simandar Bhagwan, then Simandar, Yugmandar, Bahu, Subahu. So these are the 4 Tirthankars where we are in Jambudweep. 4 Tirthankars reside in Jambudweep. Similarly, 8 Tirthankars reside. So if we just go back to the other chart where I've shown the Merus. So 4 Tirthankars here. 4 Tirthankars here in each of these segments here, 4 Tirthankars here in each of the segments here, 4 Tirthankars here in each of the segments. 4 Tirthankars. So in total, there are 20 Tirthankars in the whole of Manushya Kshetra. And so in total, what is the maximum number of Tirthankars you can have in the whole of Manushya Kshetra? A slightly trick question, So if there are currently 4 Tirthankars, if there are currently, if there are
20.
If there are 4 Tirthankars at the moment, what is the maximum number of Tirthankars you can have at any given time?
24.
No. Anyone else? Adi? Red Adi? White Adi? Saksham? No. Okay, let me give you further clue. Okay. So each Videk Kshetra, we've seen how many nagaris in total in Videk Kshetra? In total, Madhush, how many in total?
32.
That's in one. That's 32 is only in Jambudweep. My question was, how many total nagaris? How many total nagaris of Videk Kshetra in the whole of Manushya Lok?
160.
160. So it's possible for there to be one Tirthankar in each of the nagaris. Yes. Once more. Let me repeat myself. So it's possible there comes a point at some point, okay, where there is one Tirthankar in each of the nagaris, okay. So my question is, how many total Tirthankars can there be at any given point? A maximum number of Tirthankars at any given point in the whole of the Manushya Kshetra.
160.
170. 170. Very good. 170, because there are 5. Sorry, so
160 plus 5 plus 5.
Yes, 160 plus 5 plus 5, because there are 5 Bharat Kshetras, there are 5 Airavat Kshetras. Okay, another trick question. It's not a trick question. How many Tirthankars will there be in Dhatki Khand? Maximum number of Tirthankars there can be in the island of Dhatki Khand. I'm going to do some maths. Do some maths.
68.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Okay, very good. You got it in one. How many Tirthankars in Jambudweep, at the maximum number of Tirthankars can they be?
34.
Very good, 34. So one Meru can hold 34 Tirthankars, okay? Can't be more than that. That's the maximum. So 5 Merus can have, so it's 34 times 5, which is 170. So Jambudweep will have 34, Dhatkikan will have 68, and Pushkara Dweep will also have 68. So 68 plus 68 plus 34 is equal to 170. So when Ajitnath was the Tirthankar, right, Rishabdev Ajitnath, so there were 170 Tirthankars covering the whole of the Manushya Lok. Imagine 170 Tirthankars were ruling, were Bhagwan during the time of Ajitnath Bhagwan, 170. It happens very, very rarely. Doesn't happen often, happens very rarely. And the minimum you can have is 20. You can't have less than 20. You can't have more than 170. So at the moment, because it is the 5th era where we are, and in Airavat Kshetra, and also Videk Kshetra has the 4th era, but there is only a minimum amount of Tirthankars there. So currently there are only 20 Tirthankars in the whole of the Manushya Lok. So there can be 170 at any given point. Yeah. Fine. So I think that's where we'll conclude. If anyone have, so this will be a last class for this summer holiday, okay? Because will not be able to take any further classes for a while. So this is the last class for today. Okay, yeah. Anyone any questions before we finish?
I just want to say thank you so much for
You're most welcome. Most welcome. Hopefully you've got so I didn't really cover a lot. Only covered just the most important bits of Madhyalok only. Okay, I've not touched about the Narak. And I've not touched about Swarg as well. That itself is a big topic as well. So hopefully we might repeat it at some point in the future. But we've covered quite a lot of the Madhyalok. Okay, and we've seen Samanya Lok and a lot of the Madhyalok. We've not really gone into detail about Bharat Kshetra. That also itself is a fascinating topic. So we'll leave it there. We'll do so that if there's no questions, let's do Purnauti. Let's do Purnauti. Where
Will you
does
cover it in the next holidays?
Huh?
Will you cover this in the next holidays about the Narak and
Let's see. Let's see how it goes.
Okay.
Let's see what they want to program. I don't know is the answer. I
Okay.
don't know is the answer. They may sort of say we'll play it by ear. Because there's one more year to go. So who knows what's going to happen in a year's time? Yeah, it's too far to think about.
Thank you very much for everything.
Sure.
Thank you, Shitalbhai. I think they really enjoyed this class and learned
Good.
so much. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Pleasure.
October half term is coming. If you think about it.
Sorry.
October half term is the next half term holiday.
Okay, let's see. Okay, if I will play it by
Thank you,
ear.
sir.
Play by ear.
Thank
Okay, let's do Purnauti. Adi. Where Adi? Purnauti.
निज नीति निज में बताए यह दंतु पकार उसके लिए जिनवाई माँ वंदना शतबार है
Simandar Bhagwan no Jai
Jai
Ho.
Ho.
Sri Harman Bhagwan no Jai
Jai
Ho.
Ho.
Mahavir Bhagwan no Jai Ho.
Jai Ho.
Ashwanath Bhagwan
No
Jai
Jai.
Ho. Jinwani Mata no
No Jai.
Jai Ho. Kunkundacharya Deva no Jai
Jai
Ho.
Ho.
Jain Dharma no.
Dharma no Jai Ho.
Thank you much, kids. You've been very, very patient, very intelligent, very impressed with your knowledge. Keep up the good work. Hope to see you soon, guys. Okay? Take care, guys.
Thank you. Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra Balane. Jai Jinendra.